Let's do it.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Oh, hold on, let me make sure. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. Hello, everybody in YouTube land. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. Had some technical difficulties and some other stuff come up, but we're back. Episode 70, Project Console, back in the ground. And since it's been gone for a couple of weeks, I have a lot of topics we could go over. But before we dive right into it, I'd like my panelists to introduce himself.
Yo, it's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner of Proprietary BS Busters. I too have been busy, so didn't have a cast. Um, so it's good to be back on the cast. Yo,
Yeah, good to be back. Good to have you. And for our first topic, a couple of weeks ago, there was a famous YouTuber, tech YouTuber that I've followed for probably the last few years now. Linus Tech Tips ended up getting hacked, and funny thing is so what had happened was that somehow, uh, maybe through some kind of fake advertisement scheme, where they or somebody disguised themselves as an advertiser, somebody who's willing to pay for an ad spot on their platform. Uh, you know, Sent out an email. Somebody accidentally opened it, and they were able to get into their YouTube channels. And what they did was a Bitcoin scam. What they did was put these fake live streams up of Elon Musk, and had a link that you could go to, that if your typical scammer is like, if you give us a Bitcoin, we'll double your investment. But turns out that obviously that wasn't the case. But they ended up they ended up getting it resolved. But it's uh, it's interesting. No matter how big you are, you're
or
not you're
small.
not or small, you're not
Yeah.
safe. You know.
Well, I mean, if that's the lesson you took from it, the lesson I took from it was as soon as they said Bitcoin, I was like, of course. Because, Bitcoin is bullshit anyway.
Yeah.
I am not surprised that they got. with some shit connected to something that's bullshit anyway within its own right. So my advice to anyone is this, all right? Strange, um, anytime someone sends you some strange bullshit, it's shady. Anytime they send you some strange bullshit connected to Bitcoin, blockchain, or any of that shit, just turn around and walk in the opposite direction.
Yeah, yeah.
Be like, nah. Be like, Be like The Godfather. There's a scene in The Godfather, the first Godfather, where this guy says, "We think this guy who's going to set up the drug trade in America, the heroin trade in the 1940s." He says, "Hey, Don Corleone, I need your protection. I need your judges." He's like, "Oh, what have I done to deserve such largesse? I take no risk. You'll do all the work, and I get paid money. What have I done to deserve this? There's no such thing as you get all of these benefits with no risk. It doesn't exist."
Yeah, that's the problem. There's several problems with Bitcoin. One of the biggest problems I noticed during the Bitcoin craze was it seemed like it was more about hoarding it rather than actually using it as a currency.
Well, well, I didn't even notice that. What I noticed was people buying Bitcoin. The people at the top saying, "Hey, Bitcoin's great. Yeah, I put my money to start this Bitcoin," to get other suckers into it, and then they would pull out and cash out, and then the value of that Bitcoin would crash. So it was a pyramid scheme. The people at the top would get other suckers on the bottom to put money in, and then they would jump out, and then the bottom would fall out of Bitcoin. That's what it sounded like to me. And I'm like, nah. But back to Linus, yeah. As soon as they said Bitcoin, I was like, yeah, not surprised. And even though Linus has grown and has all this other stuff, they're more of like a tech media company, so they're not huge. It's not like he has like 1,000 employees. He's got like maybe what 8, 9, 10 people.
No, I think he's. Yeah, I think he's got. Yeah, probably like 30, 40. You know,
I don't think it's 30 or 40.
Double.
They're small.
Yeah, probably lower to upper double digits. Nothing too crazy out there, wild. Yeah, they're a relatively small company. I mean, all things considered. But
So let me put it this way: I guarantee probably a lot of their money comes from their tech store and YouTube revenue. So them having their YouTube channel hacked, it messed with their money, even for a short period of time.
Definitely.
So, all I'm going to say is this. It's not good.
Yeah. But
Be like that horse in Mississippi. No, sir. No, sir. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
as still as on the topic of tech, there's a little bit of Nvidia drama last week with the update to Cyberpunk 2077 with their path tracing technology with their 4090. So you drop $1,500 for
a new card
on a nice graphics card.
Yeah.
You want to play at 4K ultra high settings, turn all the bells and whistles on, only to find out that you only get like 15 to 17 frames if you don't have the.
So it's still unplayable.
DLSS on. Yeah. This sort of there's debate about the fake frames and whatnot. One of the problems, one of the downsides of DLSS is latency. So, yeah, it's very funny that you have to turn on this feature.
So functionally, what it sounds like to me is that you have a choice with an NVIDIA graphics card, these latest NVIDIA's graphics cards with certain games. You can either have the game look really pretty, but it's going to be laggy, or you can have it not look as pretty, but play a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
But also use more system resources.
Yeah.
So basically, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny that people drop and $1,500. That's the reference card.
Yeah, but to
The
be fair, $1,500, that's the price of if you got a decent AMD or Intel based pre-built, decently spec'd pre-built desktop, that's the price you pay.
Yeah, I mean, what I was trying to say is that the $1,500, $1,600, that's the reference card. That's how much the reference card is. You're buying the third party cards with the nicer coolers,
I mean, all the bells and whistles.
all the bells and with all the lights and stuff. You're probably paying upwards from $1,800 to $2,000, only for it to be
That's,
practically obsolete 6 months later.
I
Oh,
mean,
technology.
that's graphics cards in general. But I get what you're
Yeah,
saying. Well, I mean, that's the price you pay for technology.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. That's true. But
you know.
yeah, people were people, of course, were fighting about it in various message boards and whatnot, and they're like, oh well, you gotta. They were they had all these weird analogies for Nvidia, and not understanding the fact that Nvidia's been on top for years, so thus
They have no
they have to
incentive to make a better product
they have
because
no
people are going
incentive.
to buy the shit anyway.
Yeah, they have no incentive to make a better product, and they can keep charging. They can cheap. They can gouge prices on shittier products. So yeah, they were comparing Nvidia to filet mignon and AMD to like a cube steak, or some weird analogies like that. It's like one, the gulf between Nvidia and AMD isn't as massive as it once was, and B, you haven't woken up to the realization that you're getting screwed over.
No, they know
That
they're getting
Nvidia's been,
screwed. They just think it's worth the price.
yeah,
I mean, it's like Nintendo fans. I mean, you're getting products that are fundamentally flawed, yet people are happy to have them because, they can function. They can say, well, this product is flawed, but, I can play this, like, only game on this system or whatever. Whatever bullshit Nintendo fan. Nintendo fans say a lot of shit to comfort themselves.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, let, let's see. So apparently E3 is canceled this year. Thus, everybody has pretty much declared E3 dead. Um,
Yeah,
which I mean,
I
Nintendo's not showing up. Sony's not showing up. Microsoft is gonna have their event somewhere near
yeah.
close
I
by
mean,
or whatever.
here's what I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. I I'm not necessarily happy about there not being an E3 because I've said this before. There needs to be a medium where people uh can where developers and stuff like that can go and do stuff. But um on the other end of the spectrum, do I also think that E3 should have been the people of the people behind E3 should have been doing things to make E3 presentable years ago, and they didn't. They spent all their time trying to make it into this special event just for um you know the industry insiders instead of trying to make it good for other people, and that's where they kind of screwed themselves.
Well,
But
the thing is, I mean, like I was discussing with some people on a different, another Discord server, where it's basically talking about how E3 died as soon as it closed its door, basically closed its doors to the public, and it became a media slash developer slash these corporation circle jerks, where only
to be fair, the developers E3 initially was it was like it was an industry event for the people of that industry. So it was the Electronic Software Association. So it was like TVs. It came out of CES. And
yeah.
as someone who's a business owner, like if I go to the Bar Owners Association a company meeting, like that's not going to be for people who go to bars. It's people who runs bars. It's like it's not. You know, so, but you're right. There should have been a portion that was open to the public, and
Mm.
you know, because you don't have an industry if you don't have people buying shit. You know, but you know,
I mean,
makes no difference to
I get if you want to have certain exclusive content for reporters for whatever, because you don't think the vertical slice that you have is particularly good enough to show to the public, or maybe whatever whatever reason, but just having it closed off just to reporters, and not at least giving the public a chance to play, or check out some of the demos or whatever, and see what's. I don't know. They shouldn't have closed it off to. They shouldn't have completely closed it off to the public. And
no,
if they
they shouldn't have.
and if they would have kept it open, E3 would probably still be
Yeah,
around.
yeah, or at least it would have been more relevant. But they screwed themselves catering to a niche fan base. And if all you do is cater to a niche fan base for any type of business, it's not going to do well.
Yeah.
If you have a bar that's only open to a certain group of people, and don't be surprised you go out of business.
Yeah. Exactly.
But what do I know? I'm just some guy.
I mean, what would you what do you think the new E3 should look like? It probably won't be called E3, but
If it comes back, what do I
if
think
it
it
comes
should
back,
be?
yeah,
Um, I think the new E3 should be, I mean, just rip off PAX.
yeah,
I mean, just rip off PAX. I mean, they got the PAX people to run it. Just rip off PAX, okay?
yeah. Should be a week of celebration of gaming, where they have live live demos, live floor demos to show the public, maybe events like something Nintendo was doing with like fighting games or various different multiplayer games to win prizes and stuff like that. Just an all out celebration of gaming. 1 week, obviously a week where uh, developers and reporters can meet as well, because we've talked about this before. Shouldn't have You can't completely rely on just online only these online only events. People need a place to go up and meet, and if there's one thing the pandemic has showed us, it's like they can't live life can't live our entire lives on social media.
I mean, you can, but you'd wind up being like an incel. Um, so functionally speaking, I agree. I do think that you do need some type of you do need, like I said, you do need. I think they should have like an online, and I mean it would be just like PAX, where you have the online, or even better, like GDC, where you have the online portion and then the actual physical thing. I don't think you need a show, but you do need a floor where people have demos and stuff that people can play. Do I think that Jeff Keighley's Summer Games and Game Show December thing is the alternative? Fuck no, because no matter how bad E3 has been, it still didn't feel as much like a big fucking commercial like Jeff Keighley's bullshit.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't. No, no, you are out of your damn mind.
And yeah, Jeff Keighley's definitely
That
not the
tool.
answer to this.
Jeff Keighley's a tool, man. And I don't mean that in a good way. He's an absolute tool. It's like, bruh, come on, man.
For our next topic, more drama happened this week, or last couple of weeks. So the Citizen Kane of video games, LOL, The Last of Us, released
Oh yeah.
released on PC. Trashed. It was a complete dumpster fire, and Naughty Dog's over in the corner licking their wounds. They came out with some of the sorry excuses when it came.
I mean, they were pre-gaming with excuses before the game came out. They're like, well, it's kind of difficult porting this game entirely to PC.
Iron Galaxy.
And we're working hand in hand with Iron Galaxy to make sure this game is as good as it can be.
They cheaped out. They cheaped out. Got Iron Galaxy to do it. It's like,
I mean, the only thing that would have been worse is if they had gotten Grove Street Games. Grove Street Games are the ones who did those piss poor fucking GTA remasters. So I'm just saying,
I'm sure you could have gotten like 10 fans of the game that are expert programmers, so you could have paid them each $1,000, and they probably would have came out with something better than
I mean, hell, they could have just gotten the people who made the mods for the games. They would have done a better job.
Yeah, the people who have gotten the game to run through the PS3 emulator on they could have figured it out possibly. I don't, it's
anything than what we got. Anything what we got. Here's all I'm going to say about the whole thing. It's just kind of sad that these games are so poorly made these days. I don't know what to say except, this is the world we live in. People don't care about making good games anymore.
It's taking a royal shit on this franchise, like that. I'm not a huge fan of The Last of Us, but I'm not really a fan of The Last of Us. But there are a lot of people out there that obviously are, and it's just like, it's like, what the heck are you doing now?
What, you don't give a shit about Mushroom Zombies, the game?
Not entirely, but I just want to know what they're drinking, what they're smoking.
I mean, it's clear to me that
Naughty Dog.
It's clear to me that Sony said, okay, port this game over to PC, and they probably said, here, we're going to give you a bunch of money to do it, and Naughty Dog probably said, hey, we can get a cheaper developer and keep some of this money for ourselves, and that's probably what they did.
Yeah. Well, you pay cheap, you end up paying twice.
Hey, you get what you paid for. I mean, it really Naughty Dog should have done that shit internally, because it's their game, it's their baby. They should have done it internally, but this just proves that they had no incentive to do that. Like, they're probably working on their next game or whatever, so they had no incentive to actually do a good port. So I don't know, I don't know what's going on. I just live here. You know, I just work here. I don't know. You know, I personally, to me, Naughty Dog hasn't made a good game since Jack and Daxter.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm
Yeah.
really, I'm like, I don't really give a shit.
And you had, you know, the Sony Defender, Colin Moriarty, and you know, a bunch of his gaggle of cronies who were shitting all over PC gaming, and you know, it's just one of those things. It's like, you know, that's why things aren't going to progress because people like to sit in their little camps and like to, you know, rag on people who have a lesser uh, version of the game that they have and not demanding that this industry actually put out a decent product and not
Yeah.
screw the customers over. We're just gonna sit in our little camps and talk about, oh well, you know, you got a shitty port. You should just get a PS5 instead. It's like,
Well, I mean, I hate to break this to you, but like, if you're playing Last of Us on PC on a technical level is a better. It has better specs than a PS5. So,
it's not even just
if we're
yeah.
getting into a peasant, oh, my system is better than your system. Actually, the inferior device is the console, not the you know the PC. But that's aside from the point. The fact of the matter is that Sony put out a game based on one of their core franchises, and they fucking put out a bad version of that game.
Man,
That's it.
that's yeah.
It's
You
very
miss
cut and dry. It's not
you miss
hard.
and that's the problem. You miss the forest for the trees. It's like, but this has been Sony's. You know, this has been something Sony's been wanting to do is also have their games on PC. I don't
They want to double
understand.
dip.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand why you keep missing that reality.
Yeah, they
It's
want to
not like whatever. People are
they
just gonna
want to
be
double dip. I mean, everyone wants to double dip. You don't think Microsoft? You don't think the only company that doesn't want to double dip is Nintendo because Nintendo could shit in a box and say it's their next console, and Nintendo fans would buy it. Um, it's like, yeah, this is the next. This is our successor to the Switch, and Nintendo fans will buy it.
At this point, yeah. The Switch just really proved to me
Full of
how
shit
fake.
Nintendo fans are.
Yeah. How fake
Yeah.
Nintendo fans can be.
I mean, I think I'm the only Nintendo fan that's like, yeah, I'm not falling for this shit. I'm not. No, 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 not happening. They're like, oh, you're re-releasing a game that I already own. No, I'm not buying it again. And everyone's like, well, it's in HD. Shitty HD. Switch doesn't have good HD.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, if it was good HD, I'd be like, oh, this is great. But it's shitty HD. So, no, I'm not impressed.
I mean, the Switch
Um,
is using a Tegra processor that was old when it came out.
yeah, it was old, busted out shit when it came out. So why would I give a why? What type of stupid shit is that for me to be bragging about? Oh, I've got like okay, the Switch is an HD console, but it's barely fucking HD.
Yeah.
It's like the Switch's HD is like it's like okay, the Switch is running 720p in handheld mode. But the games can't even be locked 30 frames per second. They're like they dip into the upper teens.
Yeah.
And don't get me started on oh it's docked, it's more power. It's still not very good. It's 1080p. You know, the first game I got for my Switch was Breath of the Wild, and that game was crashing while I was playing it.
That game crashed on me a couple times too.
So I don't want to hear that shit. Oh no. Bullshit, man. I've never had a Nintendo console crash on me in my life. All right.
Smash
And I
crashed on
own
me a couple times.
Let me explain something to you. I own every Nintendo console made except for their Channel 4 thing in Japan that was like their Atari knockoff. But every other Nintendo console I own. All right. You will not meet a more hardcore Nintendo fan than myself. And even I'm just like, nah, I can't. I can't. I just can't. It's not. I can't defend the Switch. It is a underpowered piece of shit. But, if you're fine having a handheld that's, subpar, then, good for you. It doesn't do anything for me, but, it is what it is.
And
that's it. That's all.
Yeah. Speaking of other things that is not going well for Sony, PS Vita is on life support. Those numbers,
PSVR.
PSVR.
Yeah.
I mean, it might as well be called the
Vita 2.
The Vita 2.
The Vitana.
Put on your face.
The Vita returns. You thought you got rid of me, but like a zombie, I'm back.
Yeah, PSVR 2 is not faring very well. Apparently those first few months it was out, numbers weren't looking too hot, and already calls for people for Sony to slash the prices on this thing. They're
not going to.
They're not going to. They're already losing
because they already put too much money into it.
Yeah.
Look, let me put it this way. I don't know if you drive, but sometimes you'll get stuck. You'll make a wrong turn and be on the wrong road, but it's like a one-way road. So you just gotta stay on there. You just gotta keep on going down until you can hit a point where you can turn around.
They made two fatal mistakes. A, there wasn't really a lot to play when it came out, and B, none of the other games were backwards compatible. And the games that were they remade for VR2, you had to go out
and they charged a huge amount of money. They charged full retail price for games that people already bought and they didn't substantially change them to be on the new thing, like make a compelling reason for you to buy the new shit. Look, so here's what people need to understand about Sony, okay? Sony is arrogant. They've always been arrogant and unnecessary arrogance. Like Sony is like a normal dude going on to a porn shoot saying, "Yeah, I have sex at home. I can go toe to toe with these motherfuckers here." Not realizing that those dudes who are in porn shoots are freaks of nature. Normal dudes don't look like that.
Yeah.
Okay? And you walking in there just because you sleep with your wife or your mistress at home thinking, I can do this shit too. No, you can't. You can't. No one has been able to make a VR set work. The only people who have been able to make a game that makes a compelling reason to own VR is Valve with Half-Life Alyx.
Yeah.
And that's one game.
That's one game.
Okay.
One game.
And you have to special order the index.
Yeah.
Okay. They aren't even. It's not being mass produced. It's like $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the only reason Valve probably isn't losing money on the shit. Really, is because you probably have to special order the thing. They probably have a warehouse. They probably have half a warehouse filled with indexes that they made that they couldn't sell. Because people don't want to strap shit to their face.
Nope.
All right? Call it a day. All right? Yeah. If Valve made a really compelling reason, this is a reason to own VR. If Half-Life Alyx can't get people to go out and buy VR, if Meta / Facebook, or should I say Facebook / Meta, can't get people to want to go out and buy put some shit on their face. Facebook, that has some of the most casual fan base on earth. Facebook. People just like, yeah, I don't want to put some shit on my face. If those two motherfuckers can't do it, what the fuck makes you think you can do it, Sony?
And it could just be a possibility of,
They spent too much money on the development and they had to get something out of it. That's what happened.
Yeah,
They're like, oh shit, I spent too much money. We gotta make some of this money back.
And I guess they were relatively satisfied with the numbers that the previous VR was doing. And it was
Yeah,
probably just
but
people were wearing it. It was a cool. It was the cheapest VR headset at the time.
yeah,
It was
but
a
don't
cool.
forget the previous VR, they didn't build from scratch. The controllers were just PS Move controllers that they repurposed. So they didn't have to spend as much money to make the previous VR. This one they built from the ground up. And it was more expensive.
Yep. Yep.
So it's not like, oh my god, it's okay. It's not like it was a cheap alternative to, and they, like, even if it did make a lot of money, they were still making something. It was in the hole. This is typical Sony behavior. We're in the hole with every device we sell, and we're never going to sell enough to make it profitable. So why the fuck did we come? Who okayed this?
I mean, and also the PlayStation VR. I think for the people that bought it, was like it was a cool party trick, but just probably ended up in the closet.
I mean, most people don't want to. Most people don't want to play a game. Most people don't want to. Don't want to fucking have some shit in their face like that, for long periods of time. I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's tough enough just sitting there trying to. It's tough enough just sitting there trying to watch a damn movie, like on your phone, and that's not in your face, like strapped to your face. That's like in your hands. I remember I used to watch Netflix on my 3DS because it was just really convenient to have it like right there next to me. And that was the best I could hope for, I mean, but to have some shit strapped to your face. And typically speaking, when you're gaming and you get into a zone, you might game for 2, 3, 4, 5 hours when you're really in the zone gaming. Why the hell would I want something strapped to my face for 2 or 3 hours?
Yeah.
That's asinine.
Yeah, exactly.
But, oh well. What do I know? I'm just some guy.
Yeah. I just wish they'd part of me I guess wishes that they just give up on this VR stuff. It's like they tried 3D, that didn't work. Tried VR, it's not working that well. Well, I mean, and who knows? Maybe it'll be a different conversation by this time next year. Maybe something will announce something. I don't know, but
no, there's gonna be something.
Yeah,
there's gonna be something. Yeah, can we segue over to free topic? Because there's gonna be something. Sony's working on something, all right.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh no, we got Nintendo. Okay, go ahead.
No, before that, our next, we got to give. This won't be the last punch, but it will be for the moment. Sony makes one final plea pertaining to the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition, and they're just looking really pathetic right now.
Yeah.
Some of the people I heard talk about it, they just sound pretty pathetic, begging that Call of Duty doesn't leave their greasy little mitts.
Yeah.
They want their Call of Duty money.
I mean, what they want is that they're the lead platform for Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we can't make anything that's better than Call of Duty. And I'm like, hello, Battlefield. you work with EA to make Battlefield into your Call of Duty, and then you basically build off of that.
They
The
have
problem
so
with Sony
they
is
have so
that.
they
Oh,
have
go ahead.
so they have SOCOM, which is it's a strategic shooter, but
Yeah, but
there's
people ain't
some.
playing SOCOM like Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, sure, but there's definitely. I mean, you have an audience. You have a big.
Yeah, but they
I
want
mean,
that Call of Duty number.
Rainbow Six is. I mean, like for a little bit was doing pretty well until Ubisoft decided to do
Fucked it
something.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
they fucked it up.
uh,
Yeah. Here's what I'm gonna say. They fucked up. Sony was so busy trying to put the kibosh on um, Microsoft's acquisition of Activision, which, to be fair, I'm not happy about that.
yeah, it's not.
I
Yeah.
don't think that, because basically people who did some really fucked up shit are being rewarded for doing fucked up shit, and they're going to get a big payout and go off into the sunset like they didn't do the fucked up shit they did. That is not good. But here's the thing: everybody's dirty. Ain't nobody getting out. Everyone's got poo poo on their face in this thing, because
Yeah.
Microsoft has been doing dirty shit for years.
Oh yeah.
And Sony been doing dirty shit for years. They both been doing dirty shit for years. You don't believe me? Look at, haven't you noticed? Haven't you seen all the Japanese JRPGs that have been exclusive to Sony for years?
Yeah.
For years.
Well,
You couldn't get Kingdom Hearts on the
Microsoft.
Xbox.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been playing all sorts of dirty tricks when it comes to. They can go back to the PlayStation era.
They did it with the Nintendo first. How do you think they perfected their game? They first did it to Nintendo. They did it with during the 5th gen with the with the N64. They did it during the 2nd gen with the PS2. This is Sony's MO. Except here's the problem: Sony ain't got, like, okay, look, like, here's the thing. Everyone's like, well, if Microsoft buys Activision, they'll buy Rockstar, or sorry, they'll buy 2K. Sony ain't got the money to buy 2K. All right, Sony has $5 billion for acquisitions. 2K's worth like 30.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Sony ain't got that type of money.
2K has a lot of worthwhile franchises, but
just the NBA games alone, NBA, NFL, NBA, WWE. Those might be worth like 5-6 billion a piece. Then they got GTA. Then they got the Borderlands series. I mean, plus they bought Zynga.
Yeah,
which is like 15 billion right there. And you think Sony with their 5 billion war chest can buy all that shit? Man, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. People get on my nerves that, oh, well, Sony. It's like, look, man, Sony, look. Microsoft bought ZeniMax for like $12 billion, okay? Sony's response to that was to buy the Bungie for like 300 million. Okay, they ain't got Microsoft money. Do you understand? Can you comprehend? Okay, think of it like this. Okay, think of it like this. You have a rival that you're rivals with, a dude who maybe y'all went to school together, maybe y'all in the same business, right? And the motherfucker comes in, and his wife is like a 10. Okay, she's built, she's stacked, she's fine, she's successful, and she's she's the total package. And you're like, shit, I gotta compete. So you go and you get a chick, but she ain't at the level of the chick that motherfucker got. She's like a 6. Okay, and you just like it's like you ain't never gonna be able to get to their level. So don't even try. Find a new way to compete that doesn't involve you doing it directly.
Yeah.
Listen. I said this years ago when we were in podcasts. I said Microsoft can't compete against Sony with their IPs because Sony's IPs, even though they don't support them, are stronger than Microsoft's first-party IPs. But one thing Microsoft has tons and tons and tons of is money. They have lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
So Sony, you ain't gonna beat them in the money game. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, I don't know what to tell you. You ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, I just think the whole thing's funny. Some of their arguments that they use that they threw out there, thought was pretty hilarious, and it's like all right, Sony, all right, time to hold the L and get all the troops back together, get them all back together, and think of something else because
You know what they could
doesn't look
do
like
is
it ain't working.
double down back on fucking double down back on supporting Japanese developers, and we could get some quality JRPGs again. They
Yeah.
recently came out with a shitty ass port of what was it? Legend of Dragoon, and despite it being a fucking terrible port, those dumbasses on PlayStation bought it. It sold like 2 million, and they're like, "Hey, people want these old ass games that we haven't done shit with in years, except do this shitty ass re-release." Uh, hey, maybe we should bring some of these old IPs back. Why don't you do that shit, Sony? Instead of always trying to legislate people out of existence. You sorry bastards.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
can't do
Exactly.
that. That's difficult. We can't do that. That's hard. I'm sorry. Sony with their bullshit. I'm tired of Sony. I feel bad because I have a PS4. Every time I try to get a PS5, every time they're like, "Hey, we got them in stock." By the time I get there, they're gone. Fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still do want a PS5. Not for the reason you think. It's because there's certain exclusives that are only on the PlayStation where I'm like, oh, this might be kind of cool, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
I'll wait until the next PlayStation comes out, and then I'll just get that.
Yeah. There have been times where I was tempted to get a PS5. That that PlayStation 5 controller. So there's a friend of mine that bought a PS5. Hell the PS5 controller. It's like actually it's actually pretty nice. So actually surprised it doesn't feel shitty like the rest of their controllers. It's
I'll be
like,
honest with you.
wow, this actually doesn't suck.
Yeah, I don't personally give a shit about controllers that much because I'm one of those old school people. My favorite controller is still my GameCube controller, but I'm like, I don't give a fuck about a controller. And plus, I'm also in my head, I'm like, well, let's not forget that Sony, technically speaking, they still they still have not substantially changed their controller in years. Like
No.
the PS5 controllers, the PS4 controllers, the PS3 controller, is the PS2 controller, is the PS1 DualShock. They haven't really done all that much to change or make their controllers better in all the years they've had them. And I don't like, you know, I know some people are gonna get mad about that, but I don't give a shit because you don't pay my bills. Um, so I mean, so I mean, they play games. It's a controller. It's used to play games. They haven't really done anything really interesting with their controller. Except with the PS3 where they tried to not rip off the Wii with the fucking motion control with their controller, and they released a game from Factor 5, the Rogue Squadron people, and they fucked that up because they made them put motion control in that game at launch.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever.
And speaking of more More industry shenanigans. Got Nintendo wanting to sending out subpoenas to Discord, wanting the information of the people who leaked the art book for Tears of the Kingdom. Completely just, completely just wanting those people's information doxed. And I don't know when
Well,
people are gonna learn that you just can't do, like, I'm not even defending Nintendo when I say this, but
here's what I'm going to
you
say.
can't be doing this.
You can't be look listen, okay, is it right for a company to try and get your personal information because you leaked sensitive business information? Well, on a legal standing, yeah, they have the right to do that because you put private information out in public that was meant to be private.
Yeah,
Oops.
it's actually,
um
it is technically stolen property, so I
yeah,
kind of have a
so
leg to stand on.
if you're dumb enough, I mean, but we've said this before, look, Nintendo has a crack legal team, and why would you fuck around with that?
Yeah,
I mean, I talk a lot of shit about Nintendo, but I don't do anti-legal shit against them. Like, I went to the Nintendo World Store when I was in New York, and they had a contest where if you like spent over $50, you could get a chance to go to an early showing of the Mario movie, and I won.
yeah,
Got to go see the Mario movie early. I didn't post that shit. We weren't allowed to post that shit.
yeah,
After the movie came out, I could tell people about it, but not at the time. I could be taking pictures and shit.
yeah,
So, I mean, my point is this: is that people need to stop with that shit. They need to really, like because they were thinking, if I leak this, my channel's gonna blow up, not realizing that your channel blowing up doesn't mean anything if any profit that you make is going to be eaten up by Nintendo saying, "Oh, you made money off of leaking our stolen thing." Guess what? You can't make money off of a crime. So not only are you not getting that money, but we're suing your ass, and you can't make shit off of your channel.
yeah. I
And
mean,
we're also gonna get an injunction, a punishment put in that you can't use the internet you can't use any internet thing ever for like the next like 10 years. So effectively, they can't create only they can't do anything online that's gonna they can try and make money with it
yeah,
if they wanted to. I mean, would Nintendo go that hardcore? I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past them.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty it's pretty crazy, and I've heard the people defend it. It's like, oh, it's just an art book,
Just
but
some pictures.
it's just some pictures. But it's again, they weren't yours to distribute.
Yeah, and
That's
plus
what you're missing.
and plus you did this to a company that likes fucking with people. And
Yeah,
now you like here's the thing. These are like people who go up to a dog that everyone knows that dog has bit people. And they're like, yeah, well, dog, I don't give a shit. And they go and fuck with that dog and then get surprised when the dog bites them. Oh, the dog bit me. They told you the dog bit people. Why'd you go over there fucking with that dog? And then you gonna get mad that the dog bit you. Like, what the I can't believe this. Really? Why are you surprised?
yeah. You know,
I don't like what is the disconnect here?
yeah. I don't get it either. I don't
Like,
understand it either.
do you not understand that if you take someone's stuff, right, and you leak it online or give it to someone online, and you put it out before it's you know before it comes out, that is you've you've basically you've broken the thing. Because I used to review movies, not professionally, but as a side hustle. and they would have like, look, you can review this movie, and but you can't do a leak until this time. You can't submit your review until this time. If they gave you a DVD screener, there would be a thing that like would tell you this is the property of so and so and so and so. Like this DVD screener has been given to so and so and so and so. So even if you leaked it, it would be hardwired onto there to tell you who the fuck gave this up. Like, why would you? These people are stupid. That's all I'm gonna say. People are stupid and desperate for attention. They're attention whores.
Yeah, I mean, we've criticized Nintendo a lot when it comes to all sorts of things on this channel and on your channel, but you gotta call a spade a spade. Like you can't be doing
Well,
this
you
sort of
call
thing.
me wrong. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm not going to defend. Like, and here's the thing. Like, here's the problem. You guys are basically, because of what these people are doing, you're making me defend a multi-billion-dollar company, which I don't want to defend a multi-billion-dollar company. The days of me being everything Nintendo does is great because it's Nintendo. That shit is out the window. Okay.
yeah,
Um, I'm not. I tend to not want to fall on the side of any multi-billion-dollar company. I think they're all full of shit, and the only thing they want to do is get your money. But with that being said, you did steal their shit.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you did put it out there before, they wanted it out there.
Yeah, yeah, and well,
So, whatever happens to you, you brought on yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
yeah, exactly. But
So I got no sympathy for your ass.
yeah, yeah. But free topic. You want to talk about the control? You want to talk about
Yeah,
Sony's disaster of a handheld?
here's my free topic. So we in this podcast we saw that we talked about how Sony has had multiple L's this the last 2 weeks. But Sony, like like a guy who's dating a girl who just doesn't want to be with him, and she keeps on cheating on him. Even brought an outside baby on him. Just keeps on going back, thinking it'll be different this time. So Sony, seeing the success of the Switch, wants to create a handheld again.
What's
They want to
appealing here?
create a handheld again. So after getting their nuts stomped twice with the PSP and the Vita, they said, "Well, the third time will be the charm." It's not enough that they're probably gonna lose this case trying to block Microsoft from buying Activision, Blizzard, and King. It's not enough that their VR is trash. It's not enough that a lot of their online PC ports are kind of not hitting all that hard. I think the Uncharted collection was pretty good, but Last of Us was kind of trash, and there was that whole issue with them porting over Spider-Man and Miles Morales. So with that being said, Sony's like, I haven't had enough punches to the face. So I'm gonna try one more time to block I'm gonna block their punches with my face. Because what knocks you out is the body blow. But if I can block their body blows with my face, then it won't matter, and I won't take any hits to the body. So they're gonna release a handheld. Now, in order to get around the massive failures that the PSP and the Vita were, this is the rumor now. This hasn't been confirmed. The new Sony handheld is supposed to connect to like it's gonna be basically like the Wii U gamepad was to the Wii U.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a handheld / controller. So once again, Sony steals ideas from Nintendo because that's all they really have ever fucking did. Nintendo innovates, Sony imitates.
At this point.
That's all they've ever done. Remember, the PlayStation was an idea that was created by Nintendo, and they stole it. Then they kept it rolling with the PS2, into the PS3, into the PS4, and now the PS5. So yeah, they don't innovate. There's no new idea that Sony has come out with in gaming.
Yeah.
All right, you can say, well, let's look at the shit that Sony has. Motion controls with their controllers. That was the Wii.
Yeah.
Okay, analog control sticks in 64. 3D gaming in 64. Mascot fighting game in 64. Hell, even the shit they stole from Nintendo, having strong JRPGs, Super Nintendo, NES. And now the handheld. Say, well, the PSP and the Vita. Game Boy Advanced. So now they're going to try it again, but now they're stealing the Wii U because that worked out so well for Nintendo.
Yeah.
That is, but you know what? It probably will work better for Sony because they have a bigger install base that might buy it because Sony fanboys will buy anything at this point practically. They're like, yeah, this is, and I want them to come up with this handheld, and I want Sony fanboys to buy it, and I want to hear them say, this is so innovative, asymmetrical gameplay. I'm like, why did you buy it when Nintendo did it with the Wii U, fucker?
Oh man,
because you know that's what's gonna happen, right? You know that we can all see the future. You know that's what's gonna happen, right?
That's exactly what's going to happen if that's the capabilities of this thing. And it's not just some sort of cloud machine that can play your PlayStation 5 games in your house. They're going to charge $300 for this freaking thing.
Really? They told you that's going to be the price? $300?
I don't know, but knowing Sony, probably.
Yeah, because Sony likes charging exorbitant prices for shit that should be way cheaper.
I think they're Apple or something. Oh, we're the premium. We got the premium product.
I mean, they want to be Apple, but
yeah. But while we're on the topic of handhelds, there was everybody thought to be an April Fool's joke. ROG announced their ROG Ally, and again, it's another PC handheld device. This thing's probably not going to be cheap because it's ROG, and I mean they say it's going to be like a Steam Deck competitor, but again,
it's not going to be a Steam Deck competitor. Because Steam Deck is affordable.
Yeah, you're gonna be paying that ROG tax, so get ready for that. Because if you're familiar with anything PC gaming, you know that ROG stuff is significantly
expensive.
More expensive.
Yeah, it's like Nvidia. Oh, it's Nvidia. Oh, let me be prepared to cut off a pinky.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let me cut off my pinky so I can sell it because this shit's gonna be overly priced. Yep. Yay, Sony. I mean, yay, Nvidia. Just rip me off. Charge me an arm and a leg for everything, because it's whomever it is.
Yeah, you get all that nice art. With ROG, you get all that nice ROG goodness, which is an extra $50 to $100 depending on what you're getting. It's like, God dang.
I mean, it's nice looking, but I mean, look, if you got the money to burn, knock yourself out. Here's what I'm gonna say. It's kind of expensive.
Not to mention, it also has the capability of using their proprietary external GPUs, which again also is
Yeah,
a nice
uh,
chunk of money right
let's
there.
keep it let's keep it real. They released this streaming this handheld device to sell their external GPUs.
Yeah,
Because external GPUs are always more expensive than a internal GPU.
yeah,
Even the ones that aren't proprietary, like the dock itself is like 150, $200. Then you have to have a GPU. Then if you jury rig it yourself, you got to get the cradle for the dock. Then you got to have an external GPU you don't mind putting in that cradle, and then plugging it in and hooking it up to your laptop. Okay. Then you got to fucking have a cooler for that because it's gonna get hot. Okay. Then you got to have the software on your laptop to utilize it. Then you got to have the USB component, the connector in your laptop that actually can utilize the speeds necessary to utilize it. It's just a lot of bullshit. It's a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit.
you know, if you're buying one of these and you're gonna buy an external GPU, I'm just gonna look at you and be like, why didn't you just buy a gaming laptop?
Yeah, well, because a gaming laptop, because I mean, the bonus of having an external GPU is that once you have an external GPU, it's actually less of a hassle to upgrade than a gaming laptop. Because once you buy a gaming laptop and it's obsolete forever because no one's going to open up a gaming laptop and put a new GPU in. If you have an external GPU, it's like, oh, the next gen Nvidia came out. I can just take that out and put it back in there. If you have the non-proprietary ones, you can. So there is kind of like a bonus for using an external gaming laptop, an external GPU over a gaming laptop. So there is that. But using a proprietary one, no, there's no benefit. The proprietary nature kind of ruins the whole experience. Because it's like you're paying a premium. The whole point of having an external GPU, which is, I did a little bit of research on it because I have a friend who does tech shit, and he used to lug around a fucking like initially he lugged around a desktop. He had one of those portable desktops, and he was like, "Oh, this is great." And then he was like, "I got tired of like I threw out my back lugging that shit around all the time." So he got a gaming, like a development level gaming laptop. And he's like, "This shit it's runs too hot and it's too loud." So he wound up getting a decent dev laptop and an external GPU. And he's like, "Yeah, whenever the shit, whenever I need to upgrade, I just get a new GPU."
Yeah,
And I'm like, that actually sounds pretty damn interesting. Because I mean, I guarantee a decent high quality GPU to do like what he needs to do maybe cost him $2,000-3,000, but he can write that off, and plus he can keep the GPU for like 5 years, like 3, 4, 5 years, depending on what he's doing.
yeah,
That's a decent that's because that's still cheaper than getting because if you want to get a really good gaming laptop, you're looking at 5, 6, 7 grand.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
So
that's
two and a half,
cheaper.
3 grand is still cheaper than 6, 7 grand. Just
But I'm looking at this right. I'm looking at their external GPUs. They're proprietary because they're not external GPUs don't use the
they
full
don't use
fat chiplet.
FireWire, they use their own shit.
No, yeah, they use their own. They use their, but it's not just so it doesn't necessarily need external power because it
It's
because
pulling
the
power from
mobile,
the machine.
yeah, it's a mobile. It's a mobile version of that
Oh, so they
GPU.
don't even have a. Oh, that's just sad. So they're so they're
It's
so they're skimping on the parts and upselling it because it's got ROG on it.
and so yeah,
Raj, I called him Raj. Raj Strix or whatever. Raj
we all
branding
use
on
our
it.
ROG Strix.
So they can't
Yeah.
even. So
So
they couldn't even give you a full size GPU. That's pathetic.
so
Because you can get. No, go ahead. Sorry.
RTX 3080 laptop GPU.
Mm-hmm,
Again, this is the separate laptop
mm-hmm,
GPU externally.
uh-huh.
1,499 dollars.
So basically $1,500. plus tax.
$1,500 for that, just for that
Plus
alone,
plus
plus the
tax.
plus
So
tax,
so you should
plus the
really
handle.
kick that up to like 1650.
Yeah. Plus, if you're gonna buy the handheld, depending on the SKU, it could be $600-700. So
2000.
yeah, so you're basically, it's like at that point it's like, man, maybe I
25,
should just buy a
25,
gaming laptop.
2500. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might as well just get a gaming laptop. You get, I mean, at that point, yeah, get a gaming laptop and then because the thing is, you can get a cradle, you can get an external GPU cradle and the connector, and then download the app that does it, like depending on which app you use, and you can get that shit relatively quick. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
some of the people I saw demo this stuff, like Linus Tech Tips and Dave 2D and some other people I've heard talk about it. Um, I just kind of, they seem pretty excited about it. I'm just kind of like, oh, it's ROG.
Yeah, but
It's
Linus
gonna
has
be
money.
expensive.
All those people have money, and they'll probably get the shit for free.
Yeah.
I mean, or at least like they'll get a demo unit for free. So I mean,
I don't know. I do not know.
it's done.
But in any case, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Uh, let's see. We talked about the fall of E3. We talked about all that other stuff. Oh, I saw the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah.
Uh, it was better than I anticipated. Like it wasn't the absolute piece of shit I thought it was going to be,
Yeah.
but it's still that movie shouldn't be called the Super Mario Brothers movie. It should be called "We Played It Safe and Took No Risks." The movie.
Yeah, that was my assessment of it. Like from some of the stuff I've been hearing,
Yeah,
um, they were playing it super safe, super close to the chest, um, which is
they
fine.
took they
That's my
they took.
expectations. That was my expectations. So
Mm,
that's what I expected. But whatever.
here's what I'm gonna say. The fact that they gave it to Illumination makes perfect sense because Illumination takes no risks and everything they does is perfectly safe. Here's all I'm gonna say. Could you imagine how great the Super Mario Brothers movie could have been if they'd put it in the hands of a DreamWorks?
Oh yeah. Oh.
I mean, could you
I,
imagine like have the same general beats? Mario and Luigi get to go to the Mushroom Kingdom, but instead of to save the princess, they're like Mario's like, look, Luigi, we're trying to get paid. She says she's gonna pay us. We're gonna lose the business in Brooklyn due to gentrification.
yeah,
like
that'd
that,
be.
and not have Chris Pratt be the voice actor because Chris Pratt's voice acting, his voice acting is the weakest part of this movie. The only good part about this movie, like the thing that was a highlight for me in this movie is that in the opening of the movie they played a cover of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show theme song.
Yeah.
And they got the voice actor who did Princess Peach in the show to do the voice actor. The lady who's like, the only thing you didn't drain is my bank account. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why did you get? She's a professional voice actor. Y'all could have saved money if y'all had gotten her instead of Anya Taylor-Joy to do the voice of Princess Peach. What the fuck's
Yeah.
wrong with you? But anyway, yeah, the movie plays it very safe, like depressingly safe, so fucking safe that it's not even really, it's not as fun as it could have been. Like it would have been fun if they would have been like if they had gone for a more darker, a little bit a more subversive thing where it's like they go to Donkey Kong, the Donkey Kong Kingdom, and like it's like we got to get help from Donkey Kong, and he goes there, and like you've got Cranky Kong up there, and he's like, you, I know you. It's like, son, kick his ass. And then it's like, that would have been great because that would have brought more history into the series. No, well, the real thing is that Mario is not happy, has a feels like a failure to his parents. So does Donkey Kong, and that was what binds them. It's like, this is y'all no balls whatsoever.
Yeah.
Even at the end of the movie where they got Mario and Luigi doing their showdown in Brooklyn with Bowser, it's like, Jesus, the movie could have been better. I hate
Yeah.
to say this. It pains me to say this, but it's clear to me that the Sonic movie is better. The two Sonic movies are better. They're better films. They're
Yeah.
better made. They're just better. Just better. Better.
Oh yeah, yeah. I want to check it out. I saw a little bit of it because somebody posted a Jolly Rogers version of it, and I was like, yeah, I'll just wait until I can get a rent it on a streaming site because I hate the whole they use the camera to record the screen. It is this like nah, I'll just wait until I can get a legitimate copy.
I mean,
Or
you could just. I mean, look, man. Don't let my dislike of the movie, or not dislike, my it's kind of safe. Look, man. If you just want to get out the house, go watch a movie, sit your ass down in a nice theater, and eat some eat some popcorn, or if you have an Alamo near you, like a more what's the word? A more premium uh movie theater experience. Just go there and just go watch some shit.
yeah,
Just I mean, look, man. This is a fun movie if you just want to go sit down in the theater, watch some sit down and watch a fun little movie just to you know lose your
lose
lose
yourself
your
for a few
mind.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just sit down and lose your mind and just watch a damn movie. Go ahead, man. Look, man. Look, it's not like here's the thing. We've been kind of spoiled because we've been getting some good video game movies as of late and TV shows.
yeah,
This is not absolutely terrible. The
yeah,
problem is it plays it really safe. Jack Black is good. Cranky Con, like everyone else is good. It's just kind of like uh Chris Pratt is like Chris Pratt is like it's like everyone else is doing so much better than you are.
yeah.
Like Charlie Day's giving it something, and everyone else is giving it something, and you're like, "What the fuck are you doing here, man?" What like everyone else is giving like a either 80 to 95%, and you're giving like a 60. You know,
Well,
but
yeah, yeah.
to each his own.
I still want to see it at some point.
Yeah,
Not
man. Just
when, but yeah,
look, man. Just go look, man. If you got someone in your family, just go sit down and go watch it. Go, when you got some time off, just go watch it, have some fun. Um,
yeah,
I mean, don't let my dislike of it just make me go, oh no, I don't like it. Look, man, watch what you want to watch.
yeah.
All right. But just for me, I was just kind of like, this is a little too safe. But I might watch it again, and I'll probably watch it again, and my opinion may change.
Did you speaking of, you mentioned DreamWorks earlier. Did you see the new Puss in Boots movie?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I saw it. Was it a couple weeks ago? I thought it was pretty good. What did you think of it?
I thought it was very good. I thought like that proves like just when I think DreamWorks is getting kind of lazy, and they're like, oh man, they just don't get it. They're fucking up. They'll come out with something like that, and I'm like, oh man, they still got it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like DreamWorks doesn't have like okay, Pixar you will get amazing animation and uh either decent to great story. DreamWorks is a little bit different. DreamWorks doesn't have the greatest animation,
yeah,
but you will typically have some of like really good writing, if not
yeah.
better writing than what you're gonna get from
Disney or Pixar?
Disney or because Pixar, like okay, if you want something emotional that's gonna like be like, oh my god, this is so sad and blah blah blah, you're gonna get that from Pixar. Because I'll keep it 100%. The opening of Up, they didn't say a word in that opening. The first 5 minutes of that and had me crying.
Yeah, Yeah, no.
Like, like Wally, like the first 30 minutes of that movie, there's no spoken dialogue whatsoever.
Yeah.
You're just seeing this robot just go about his day. And it's like, oh, this is interesting. And like seeing what humanity did to the earth. It's like, man, humanity sucks. It's like if there ever was a case for the complete eradication of humanity, that's it. Because we ain't making the world better. It's not getting better with us here. But they were able to do that. Now, DreamWorks can do that because their storyboarding is amazing. But if you want clever dialogue and shit like that, you got to go with
DreamWorks.
you got to go with DreamWorks.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Illumination doesn't have those talents. Like they have the animation down. Like the Mario movie looks great. All of Illumination's movies look really good. But Jesus Christ, once they get beyond that, it's like y'all just didn't care at all. Y'all like you made it look really nice, but you didn't do shit after that.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't like it's so safe. I mean, I hate to say this, but I had more fun with I have more fun watching uh I had more fun watching fucking what's it
Sonic?
called? No, watching the original Mario Brothers movie.
Oh.
I would rather. Hey, at least that movie was trying to do something. Shit.
Yeah.
Look, man. I'll take something that's different than the same shit over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is something different. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Anyway, that's my opinion. I'm done. I got nothing else
Alright.
left.
Well, anything you like to pimp out before we call it a night?
Uh, yeah, I'm doing a podcast tomorrow. Gonna be talking about uh, well, more news of the week for me, which is gonna be more takes. Well, no, I won't talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie. I'll talk about some other shit. Um, Sega. There's a rumor that Sega's going to do a remaster of Skies of Arcadia, and Nintendo might be remastering Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. So that's more exciting to me than talking about Sony. We'll also talk about um, you know other movies that people might or might not like. Anyway, that's it.
And this is Kanashi Abominita here with another episode of Project Consoles, episode 70, back in the ground, in the can. Sony taking L's, like usual. So have a good week, have a good weekend, have a good life. Catch you guys next week.